Welcome back, dear students. In previous videos we have discussed classes and objects, and later we have discussed classes and functions. In this video I am going to discuss classes and methods. Python is an object oriented programming language, which means that it provides features that supports object oriented programming which has these defined characteristics, means below characteristics. Even beginning of these classes I have told that Python, it's basically object oriented programming language. Whatever the module we have studied so far, we have not used any object oriented programming concept. Whereas in this module we are going to I am going to introduce you to few of the concepts of object oriented language. Already by this time we know what are classes, we know what are objects. Okay, so basically programs, means object oriented program, includes class and method definition. It includes a class and method definition. Most of the computation is expressed in terms of the operations on objects. This is very important. Whatever the computation we do, it will be expressed as some operations on one or other objects. Whereas in procedure oriented language, their function will be the active part, means the function is going to take the objects and it will work on object. But here whatever the work computation will be there, it will be in terms of objects only. Objects often represents things in the real world. The methods often corresponds to the ways things in the real world interact. For example, the time class discussed earlier corresponds to the way people record the time of day, and the functions we defined corresponds to the kinds of things people do with the time. Means the meaning here is, whatever the time we class we have discussed, normally that class is going to record time of the day, and whatever the functions we have discussed, those functions is what a people is going to do with the time. Normally the people is going to add 2 times. They will going to tell the time, nothing but a printing time, and they may add some seconds or minutes to the time. These are the things people often do with the times. Those things whichever the people do with the time will be expressed as a functions, and those functions are going to make use of the object. Similarly, one more example that we have discussed is point, and another is rectangle classes, which are corresponds to some mathematical concept of a point and rectangle. So far we have not taken any advantage of a features of the Python, which is going to provide the support for object oriented programming. Okay, these features are not strictly even necessary. That's what so far we have discussed so many programs, we have not at all used of any of the features of object oriented language. Most of them provide an alternative syntax for the things we have already done, but in many cases that alternative is more concise and more accurately convey the structure of the program. A very important thing is this, that alternative concept or alternative whichever exists in object oriented concept is going to provide the that is a base for the object oriented concept, and that is going to convey the structure of object oriented concept. For example, in time.py, whatever we discussed earlier, there is no obvious connection between the class definition and the function definition that follow. Even I'll show you that particular program, time.py, so that you will understand it. In that particular program, time.py, if we see, this is a class definition, this is a function definition. There is no connection between class definition and function definition. Both are different. Okay, means this only thing is both are there in a one file called time.py, but this and this both are, it is something like this is an independent function. That's what, it's a function. There's no connection between class and the time. Both are very much independent, but we can give a relation, we can have a relation between class and time. Here, yes, no connection between class and class definition and the function definition. So we have observed that every function takes at least one time object as an argument. This say if I show some other programs of that we have discussed on time, say like say for example time dot time underscore like add we have discussed, so where it is going to add two times t1 and t2. So once again here this is a class definition, this is a function definition of print time, this is a function definition of add time. Once again there are no connections, but remember say whether it is a print time or add time, say these functions have taken one or more objects. Here one object time object, here two time objects it has taken. So this is a motivation for us to have a strong relation between that of a class and the functions that we are going to write. A method is a function that is associated with a particular class. Function is independent of the class, whereas a method is associated with a particular class. How it is independent, how methods are associated with a particular class, that I am going to tell you little later. Say now if we see we have seen so many methods, like say for example let us even discuss that itself, how functions and methods are different. Say we have seen so many methods for strings, list, dictionaries and even tuples. In this sessions we will define our own method. Okay, so like methods for a programmer defined type. So before that I am going to tell you the difference that exists between a function and a method. Like here say I'll start a Python 3 interpreter. Okay, let me define some string which is equal to, say for example, say I'll write it as a welcome, where W is capital and remaining all characters are small letters. Okay, if I print a string, say what we get is whatever it is stored in a string, the W is capital and remaining all characters are small, right? Say here there are so many functions which can be used on strings. Like there is a function called max. I can use this max and it will going to take one argument. Okay, so that argument I will give as a string. Say what this max function does is it will going to give the maximum character. So means the character whose ASCII value is maximum. Here if we see W is a small characters, E, L, C, O is a maximum character, means O is a character whose ASCII value is maximum. It should return O. Similarly, say we have seen a function called min also, where W, because it's a capital letter and remaining all are small letters, the ASCII value of capital letters is lesser. Okay, so that's what it has returned, W. So we have seen so many other functions where say to those functions, if we see here max, to this function we have supplied a object as a argument, right? Say but there are some say methods also. See max and mins are functions, whereas there are some string methods which can work only on strings. Like say for example, if at all you want to see which are all the say string methods, so you write a string, then a dot, then press double tap twice, it will going to give all the methods which are there which can be used on string. Like say string add, say then string doc string format, so many functions are there. So like a string size of, say string mode, string center, here string find, means string dot find means find function, index function, is ALNUM function, is alpha function, is decimal function, is a digit. So much of these functions, even we many of these functions we have used. So is numeric, is printable, means it will going to tell whether it's a printable character or not. Is a space. Okay, so many, is upper, is lower, is join. Okay, means join. Then so many other functions, methods. What is the difference between function and a method? If at all we want to use these methods, we should use a dot operator. Like a string is object, later say if at all I want to use lower, I can use string lower directly. And remember, no need to supply any argument here, directly you just call string dot lower and then enter. Look at this, Here to find the maximum number, what I did is I have used max, and that object, the string object, will be the argument to these two functions, max and min. Whereas here, to any of these methods, say you can directly call those methods just by using a dot operator with that particular string object. But remember, the object should be here string object. Means string object means, say for example, don't think that it should be the name string. It can be anything, like say for example, name is equal to, if I write say BAGALKOT Bagalkot. Now say max of Bagalkot, max of name. If at all I want to use name, here max of name is T, means maximum is T there. Okay. So whereas min of name is B here. Okay. Say because B is small capital letter. In this, say if at all I use, I want to let us consider I want to convert all the say letters in this name to uppercase letters. I can use name. I can use a method called upper, say name dot upper. Now you can see all are converted to uppercase letters. Similarly, there is a function called as lower, so I can use that name dot lower. And to these methods upper and lower, we are not supplying any arguments. By default, the meaning here is, see, try to understand the difference. Here the method will tell that the calling this method is something like this. Say the name is a object. Yes, object, you convert all the letters to uppercase. That's the meaning on yourself. Whereas in this case, say for example, if I call max, say S max, you take this object and find the maximum letter in this, means a letter whose ASCII value is maximum. Means here to whom I am telling, to function we are telling. Here we are telling it to a name. Yes name you find. Yes name you find which is the lowercase letter. Yes name you convert all the letters in your string to lowercase. Here yes name you find all the you convert all the letters in all the letters to uppercase. Okay, say here the object is active, whereas here the function is active. Here function will take the object and it does the work, whereas here the object will going to take a function and that function it will use for itself. I hope this difference is clear to you. Say, and remember, whenever we are going to use objects, methods, say the method should be used using a dot operator, and the methods of one class will not work on methods of other class, because methods will be restricted only to that class. How it will be restricted, that we'll see little later in a class definition. Right? I hope this is clear to you. So now we will say here, we have seen methods of strings, so many things, and even we have defined. Now let us see. Let us define a programmer defined types. Means so far we have defined functions, our own functions, but we have not yet defined a programmer defined methods. Now this is the time to define our own methods. Okay, so methods are semantically same as functions, because we have seen so many methods, but there are two syntactic differences. The first is methods are defined inside the class definition in order to make the relationship between the class and method explicit. Okay, all the methods will be defined inside the class definition. So far we have defined all the functions outside the class definition. And the second is the syntax for invoking a method is different from syntax for calling a function. One of the syntax we have seen, to call any of the method, say we are going to use a object name dot operator and later the method name, and there is one more syntax which we are going to see little later. Now we will make methods by transforming functions that we have discussed earlier. This transformation is purely mechanical. See what we do initially. Now say because we have written so many functions, we directly convert those functions to a methods, and later we will see how we can write our own methods. See, this transformation is purely mechanical. It doesn't require much of our time, and even we need not have to think anything here. Okay, just whatever the functions are there, how do we convert those functions to methods? We will see that. Say in earlier classes we have discussed a class named time, and even we wrote function named print time. Say the function, the class definition was something like this, and below that there was a function definition which was print underscore time, and it was taking on one object, right? So this is how we had written a time.py file. Okay, to call this function, what we did, say we took we initialized means we declared or initiated a new object called start, which is equal to time. Say then start dot, say we have initialized all the attributes. There were 3 attributes, one is r, another is time, and another one is second. We initialized it, and later we supplied this start object as a argument of the print function, that is which returned a result. Like for this, it will going to return as a result 9 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds. Now to make a print underscore time a method, all we have to do is move the function definition inside the class definition. Very simple thing. If at all I want to make this particular, say, function as a method of this class, just move it inside this. Look, try to understand, try to make the difference. Here these are same at the same indentation, whereas here you can see its indentation is inside. Means this particular function is a part of this class. Okay, so try to notice the change in indentation here. Okay, say here both are at the same indentation, means this is independent and this is independent, whereas in this case this function is a part of this class, time class. Okay, now there are 2 ways to call print time, means this particular method. The first one is normally used less often, say, and the second one already we have seen. The first one is, what we do is we are going to use the time class name of the class, then dot operator, then function name, and to that we are going to supply the object. Okay, the here object is a start. Say this is this time, T capital, it is the name of the class, and this is a function name, and inside that we are supplying a start as a argument. Okay, say in this use of dot notation, time is the name of the class, and print underscore time is the name of the method, and start is passed as a parameter, say, which here in this function call it is a argument. Okay, so, and obviously it will going to execute, and we'll get the result like this. Okay, so this I'll show you. So what I do, that time.py file, I'll convert it. So I'll show you that time.py, that itself I'll convert. Okay, this is a earlier class which we have discussed, class time. Okay, so if at all I want to make this function as a method, see here earlier I had written function to print time. Now I'll write it as method to print time. I'll write this as method to print time. How to make method? Just send these to this inside the class. Now this is a method. Now to call this, there are 2 ways. One is time dot print underscore time. Say there we have supplied this time as a argument. So where this time is a object here. So if I execute this using Python 3 interpreter, now you can see it is 8 hours 59 minutes and 30 seconds, which has been given here, 8 hours 59 minutes and 30 seconds, right? So if it, and there is one more syntax. This syntax is what it tells. This is the name of the class, this is name of the method, this is the name of the method, and this is the object. So and one more, say, type, means one more way of say calling that method is just use the object name. Say the object here is time dot print underscore time. and no need to supply any arguments here. Very important thing is no need to supply any arguments. Say now if you see here, this has been printed by first method, means first function call, using a time class, using a class name, and this has been printed using the second way, means this using a object, right? So now important thing here is, here we have supplied one argument, means the parameter, for this parameter one argument is here, whereas here nothing. The meaning here is this particular on which this print underscore time, this particular method is called on this object. Because of that, this object itself will become a argument to this function. Keep this in mind, dear students. Say here, try to make the difference. We have not supplied any arguments here. Okay, so it requires one argument. Say how that argument is supplied. Say whenever we use this kind of notation while calling, the meaning here is this particular function is going to take this particular object as a argument. Say, and on that object it is going to work. I hope this is clear to all of you, right? Now continuing with this, the second and more concise and oftenly used way is to use a method syntax, which we have seen just now. Okay, in this use of notation, print underscore time is name of the method and start is the object on which the method is called. And in this case, start is called as the subject, means normally this start is called as a subject on which method is invoked. And inside the method, the subject is assigned to the first parameter. As I told, say the subject is assigned to the first parameter. Here this is assigned to the first parameter, right? So it is assigned to the first parameter. Okay, means the subject, this is argument. Say the subject is here, like I'll show you once again. Right, say in this case this is a subject. This subject is assigned to the first argument. Anyhow, say the first parameter. Anyhow, in this function there is only one parameter, and this subject is assigned to this parameter. Right? By convention, the first parameter of the method is called self. Normally, say the self means it is the first parameter of the method, and that first parameter is a convention. It's a convention to call that first parameter as a self. So it would be more common to write a print underscore time, means print time method, something like this. This is a class definition, class time. Inside that a function definition, method definition, define print underscore time. Say instead of calling this as any other parameter, means instead of giving any other name to this parameter, the first parameter name will be self. So that here, say earlier it was t, we printed it t dot r, then t dot method and t dot seconds. Now because it's a self, you just write it as a self dot r, self dot minute and self dot second, right? Because the first a parameter will be, say the self on which we have called the means the object itself. That's the meaning. The first parameter here will be the object itself. Because of that, it's a more convenient to call the first parameter as a self. The reason for this convention is an implicit, okay, metaphor. The syntax for the function call, like a print underscore time start, suggests that function is an active agent. I was telling this earlier. Say here the function is an active agent. In this case, say it says something like this: hey, print underscore time, here is an object for you to print. Say we are telling this, hey, print underscore time, here is an object you to print. Whereas in object oriented programming, the objects are the active agents. A method invocation like start underscore print start dot print underscore time says, hey start, please print yourself. means this we are telling a start itself to print the here's on itself. So, look at this here, print underscore time, the function is active, whereas here start is active, means start, what is start? It's a object. Because of that, in object oriented programming objects are active, whereas in procedure oriented programming procedure nothing but function is active. Many times shifting a responsibility from the functions onto objects makes it possible to write more versatile methods and makes it easier to maintain and reuse the codes. One of the important thing is, once we are going to write a methods, those methods can be reused, say by and even modified by the concept called inheritance. So there is, in case of object oriented concept, if you have studied C++ before this, which is a object oriented programming language, so there the methods of a one class can be reused by inheriting it to another class. Okay, so many advantages we'll get, so especially to reuse and even to maintain the codes. We can even extend the earlier method to its next inherited classes. Okay, so more about that you can study, or say we can discuss in, say, inheritance, right? Say here, so one more example I'll take. Here is a version of increment function that we had discussed earlier. So it has been rewritten here. So remember, this is a class definition. Okay, and inside this, remember, this is a method. Okay, increment method, because it is inside the class. Okay, say here, say definition increment, say the first method is a self, first object is a self. Instead of some time or t, say we have used this as a self, and comma, it is seconds. Say earlier also we have seen this particular increment function. So like this. Okay, so earlier this okay, this is the right, this one only. Now you can see, so this is a increment function. Here this is a print function, this is a class definition. There is no relation between this class definition, it is independent, this print function is independent, and this, say, increment function is also independent. And what we had given here, say we had given this first argument as a time. Instead of that, say here, say what, say as per whatever we have discussed, it should, if it is a method, we should give this as a self. Like, say I'll convert this particular, say, function, all the functions to methods, like say this. So very simple, that's what I told, this is a mechanical. Okay, just increase one indentation so that it will be, say, covered under the class definition. Now both the functions are methods. Now this is not a now function, it's a method. It is now a method. Okay, it's a method to print time, and this is a method, this is a method to add seconds to time. Okay, now increment the time by number of seconds. Okay, so and now this time, so if at all we want to use these methods, so this is simple, this is something similar like a time. We have created a time object and we assigned its arguments, its attributes to some values, and now this is to call this a print time, we use a method on a time object. We use a method on time object, time dot print underscore time. Okay, seconds, yes, you can enter the number of seconds, and later even this increment will be used like time dot increment and this is time. Okay, and later once again here, say the print will be used like time dot print underscore time method. And here one more thing here is, instead of this print, as I told, the first, it's a convention to use a name of the first object parameter as a self. This is self. Because of that, say every time here I am going to change the name. I'll change by self, and here it is self, and even here it is self. Everything just mechanical. I'm not thinking anything, so just it is mechanical. Okay, so all time I replaced by self, right? So now if I execute this, so you know what increment method does. Okay, so given time is this. I'll enter number of seconds like 35. Just a minute. Increment. Okay, here say remember, say this particular increment function takes two parameters. It has got two parameters. We need to supply here two arguments. Okay, say but because one argument will be called, one argument is time itself, because of that you need to supply only the second one. Otherwise, just see here what was the problem. We supplied 2, and what error we got is increment takes 2 positional arguments, but 3 were given. Because I had given both the first and second earlier, say because of that we got an error. Say as the method is called on this particular object, this increment method is called on this particular object, and the first argument for this will be this itself, time. Okay, and the second will be this. Okay, by default. Now because of that we need to give only one argument there. Okay, so if I execute now, you can see given time is this, and enter number of seconds like 35. Now incremented time is say 12. Say 35 means it will become 0.5 seconds, and this is 0 and this is 12, right? Okay, and if I say still say this is while, okay, it's this is not while, means here we have not used while loop. You know what is the problem? If I add more than 60, means if the seconds is more than 60, obviously it will give a wrong result. Like 69 if I give, say this is 39, and still let me give say 120, 125. So you can see here 95 seconds, which is wrong, right? Say for that purpose, what we had done earlier, say we changed this if statement, if statement to while. If you remember, so just recall, we changed it to while, and later we took this inside this. Okay, so now if you see, if I execute the same program by giving 125 seconds, you can see here it is right, 12 hours 1 minute and 35 seconds. Hope everything is clear. But important thing here, what you need to remember is, whenever there are two parameters for a particular function, okay, when we call that function, that here method, whenever there are two parameter to a method, say we need to give only one parameter, that to the second parameter. This is the second parameter, this is for second parameter, and the first parameter by default it is the object. Okay, if we give 2, say means 2 parameters here, say we got this error. Okay, say because it will take only 2 positional arguments, 3 were given. Where 3, 1 will be this itself, means the object on which we have called the function. Hope this is clear to all of you. Right, the version sorry alright, so we'll continue with this. Okay, here say this version assume that a time underscore int is written. Say here one more version of increment function which we have discussed. Okay, this is the version where we used into time and time to int methods. Okay, say where definition, okay, function method definition, self and second, So here what we have done, seconds plus is equal to self dot time. We have called a time to int method on this particular object, and later return int underscore time. So where we have given say this whatever the seconds, so these seconds will be added to this object by converting it to a integer. That's what a time to int is called on this, and later whatever it will going to return, that will be added to these seconds, and said the total seconds will be say later converted back to time. And remember here we have called into to time as a normal function, because in into to time the whatever the function we have discussed, so there are no objects. Okay, means no objects are there as a parameter. Because of that we cannot convert into to time as a method. It will remain as a function itself. That we'll see little later. This version assumes that time to int is written as a method. Also note that it's a pure my function, because which it will not going to modify anything, it will going to return. That we have seen, it's not a modifier. So here is how we would invoke. See, start dot print time, say it will going to print the time, which is this, and end dot, see end is equal to whatever it will return, that will be assigned to end is equal to start dot increment, and this is a time we have given, and end dot print time. Say if at all you want this to be clear, better is I'll execute this particular program and show it to you. One more version of this, might be 2 or 3. So let me see this. This is here I have not used into time. Okay, say this is 3. Yes, here this is the earlier function, earlier program. Say where this is a class definition, this is a function definition for print time, this is a function definition for time to int, and this is a function definition for into to time, and this is a function increment. Now I want to convert say all these to methods. Let me do that. So a very simple thing. What we can do, the first one, say this function can be converted to method by giving a proper indentation. Okay, say every time I am going to increase one indentation, because see this is time to int. Okay, it will going to take a time object here. Okay, so and this I'll tell you, this is not a okay, the later I'll tell about this, and this increment I'll take first. 1 2 3 4, and I'm going to declare here, right? And now this is the end of the class. Remember, this is the end of the class. The definition of into time, say we have declared outside the class, not inside the class. All these things are inside the class, whereas this is outside the class. Why we didn't take this inside? Because remember, I can call this particular function by using a dot operator on the on object, because it will going to take one object, at least one object here, and even it will take one object, time object, whereas this it will not, the seconds is not object, it's a normal parameter. Because of that I cannot call this particular, if I convert this to a function, because it cannot take any of the object as a argument, I cannot call this function. That's the reason I have not converted this function to a method. I hope it is clear to you. So here there are three particular functions have been converted to methods, because these functions were taking one or say more than one objects. Here at least one object is there of type time, and this one object is of type time, and at least here one object is of type time, whereas here the second is not a object, is of type time. And here what I do, this is actually a extra thing which I am going to discuss later. So now, as on now, I'll remove this, right? Okay, and this is not required now. So I'm going to remove all these extra things, right, this is a function now. Okay, so remember this is the time. So we have initialized time to 8 hours 59 minutes and 30 seconds. Given time is, it will going to print the time. Now to print the time, so what is the change? We should print on the time object, time dot print time, and no need of any arguments here. And seconds is equal to s, enter number of seconds, and incremented time is print time. Okay, so here, so where we are calling that increment function method has to be called after this. Okay, so here I am going to call the increment method on, say for example, end or any other finish or end, whatever. Finish dot, no, finish is equal to it is time dot increment which it will going to take. Remember, this increment will going to take two arguments. One will be time itself and another one is this seconds, because there are two parameters here. Right, so now letters we need to print that finish, means finish time or end time, whatever you say. Okay, so hope this is clear to you. Say this is increment. Now if I execute this, 125, oh, what is the problem? Seconds time, name, time to int is not defined. Where is time to int? Into time. Okay, inside increment, sorry, say here also time is equal to, say this has to be called on, say it is into time, say, and before this increment here time to int is there, no, this is not a function call. Now we should call a method, time dot. And one more thing here is, what we can do, instead of time as a convention, we can use this as a self. Okay, here this is self. And later it will going to return some end time or finish time, whatever you say, that I'll return it. And this increment is a it's not a modifier, it's a pure function, because it is not changing anything. Instead of that, it has created a, it is a returning a new object called end. Okay, so that will be, say, assigned to finish object here. Okay, say now if we execute this 125, oh, one more thing, print underscore time. Okay, all function call I should convert to a method call. This is what, when we are doing everything mechanically, we will forget some function call to convert it to a method call. So where is that? Here, print underscore time, it's a, it should be a function call. It should be called on finish dot. Right, so I hope I have converted all functions to methods and even the calls. 125, incremented time is 9 hours 1 minute and 35 seconds. Try to understand here. So these all are methods, not functions. These are all methods. Okay, even this is a method. Okay, whereas this is a function. I told why we cannot convert this to a method, because it will not take any of the time objects as a parameter. Because of that, we cannot convert this as a method. Hope this is clear to you, all of you. If it's not clear, you can ask. Okay, I hope, so I have even given an example and so explained everything. So hope this is clear to you, because it will not take any time objects as a argument when we call like something like this, a time dot print. Say I cannot call this because this will be the first argument on which the function will be called. Second is not of type time. Okay, so this is a integer, it's not of type time object. Okay, say time class. Because of that we cannot use it. Hope this is clear to all of you. So we'll continue further. Okay, so this is what we have discussed. Another say here the subject start means there, say instead of start I had taken some time only. Okay, something like if I take for your benefit, once again I will show you that in this means I would have taken this as a time itself. Means as per the discussion, let me convert if as a start, means this is like a start time, start, and this is start time. Say to this, these are the number of seconds which we are going to add. Say the user is going to enter, and this is a finish time or end time. Okay, so you can call that as a end time or finish time, whatever. Okay, end time or finish time, end. Okay, time is not defined. Where? Line number 33. Okay, this is also start. I hope it's clear now. Okay, 135 this time. Sorry, 125. Name time, still one more is there. Line number 35. Sorry, this end is equal to, it is again it is start, right? So now over 125. Okay, incremented time is this. Okay, so means here why I changed is because look at this, the version in this example. Okay, this mechanism can be means the subject start gets assigned to the first parameter self, the argument 337 here given gets assigned to the second parameter, means we had given 125 instead of 1337 we had given 125. So the first one is assigned to, means the first parameter, the self is assigned and say to the object, and the argument is assigned to the second parameter. This mechanism can be confusing, especially if we make an error. Earlier we had made this error. So what was the error is, we called start dot increment by supplying two arguments. Okay, so where we don't require two arguments because one argument will be this itself. Okay, when we used a function method call like this, we got even type error. Increment takes two positional arguments but three were given, because you may get confusion where are three arguments. Say remember, this is the first one is this, it will be the first argument, then this is the second one, and this is the third one. The error message is initially confusing. Earlier it was confusing, now I think I have solved it, because there are only two arguments in parenthesis, but the subject is also considered as an argument, so altogether there are three. By the way, a positional argument is an argument that doesn't have a parameter name. That is, say it is not a keyword argument. So in the function call we can say write a function something like this, like sketch is parrot dot cache dead is equal to true. Okay, here this is called as a, so this is a one of the, so all these are a positional arguments. Okay, so a positional argument is an argument that doesn't have a parameter name, means we need not have to say this parameter name, say we may not give it. Okay, parrot and cache are positional, whereas dead is a keyword argument. These two are positional parameters, this is a keyword argument. Why it is called as a keyword argument? Say we have a very special usage of this particular keyword argument, which I am going to discuss before I proceed further. So let me discuss that in a simple increment function itself. already we have seen this program. What I do, say what this program does is means increment is a method which it will going to take a time object which it will going to take a seconds and add those seconds to a time object. Okay, now here I am going to add, let us consider whatever the object we supply, apart from this number of seconds I am going to add some extra seconds. I call it as a extra seconds. Okay, so and I'll add extra seconds as, say for example 60 extra seconds I'll add. Okay, otherwise extra seconds will be 0. Let me make it 0 first. I'll tell you that why it is 0. And here plus extra underscore sec, doesn't make any difference because this extra sec is 0. Okay, now this is a keyword, it's been initialized here. This is a keyword argument. We need not have to specify that here, because remember there are say totally 3 parameters here, whereas these 2 are called positional parameters and this is a keyword argument. Okay, and when we call this method we need not have to give this, it is not necessary to give specify any arguments for this parameter. Say I can execute this directly. Right, without any error it's been executed. Remember, as per this increment definition, it should take a 1, 2 and 3 arguments, whereas we are calling that by supplying only one argument. Okay, but the second one will be this, the subject itself. 2 are there. Where is the third one? Third one is not necessary because it is a keyword argument. If it is there, like say for example, that's what, let us consider, but say if at all we want to add extra time to this, apart from the seconds that user is going to enter, apart from that if at all we want to add extra seconds, that can be done. Like say for example, say here before this I'll ask the user to enter the extra seconds also. Like say I'll copy it. Okay, say extra seconds, I call this as a e seconds, extra seconds. Okay, say if I'll just write some more statements here. If this e underscore seconds means extra seconds is greater than, if it is greater than 0, then only I am going to call end is equal to start underscore increment, and here I can give this e underscore seconds as a one more argument. Otherwise if it is not greater than 0, I'll write it as else. I'll call it directly end is equal to this. Try to see here, I'm taking extra seconds from the user. If extra second is greater than 0, then call this. Look at this, now I'm calling that increment method by supplying 2 arguments explicitly. One will be this subject itself. If this extra seconds are not greater than 0, means if it is 0, let us consider, because seconds cannot be negative, let us consider if it's not greater than 0, then we are going to supply only one argument, second one is not necessary. Now if I execute, say if I don't give say any extra seconds, like this is 125 only, if I give this as 0 only, it's as usual. Okay, whereas if I give say instead of this 125 and another say 20 seconds if I give here, so look at this, earlier it was 9 hours 1 minute and 35 seconds, whereas now it is 9 hours 1 minute and 55 seconds. I hope this is clear to you what a keyword argument. Okay, say these 2 are positional, whose values you are supposed to specify in a function call, means method call. Here we have specified, so one is second and another one is a subject itself, whereas e seconds means this argument, this particular keyword argument is not necessary. If it is there you can specify, otherwise it's not necessary. I hope this concept is clear to all of you, right? So one more example, okay, a little bit complicated. Why? I'll tell you what complications you have. So rewriting is after, even remember, we had written a one function called is after. What it was doing, it was taking two time objects t1 and t2, and it was telling whether t1 follows t2. Okay, function discussed earlier is a more complicated. How it is complicated, I'll tell you, because it takes two time objects. So for whatever the methods we have converted, all methods were taking only one object. Sir, earlier increment method took three parameters. No, why you are telling only one object? Remember, in those three parameters, only one was a time object and remaining two were not time objects. Okay, so whereas this is after is a one function which it will going to take two time objects. Okay, so in this case it is conventional to name the first parameter as a self and the second parameter as a other. Like say inside the class definition we can write something like this: define is underscore after, say first as a earlier we had written this as t1 and t2, now we are going to write this as self and this is other. And how it is: return self dot time underscore int. Look at this, it will going to return self dot time underscore int. If self dot time underscore int, if it is greater than other dot time underscore int, you return true, otherwise it will going to return false. Okay, this use of method we have to invoke it on one object and pass the other as argument. Okay, so if I show this, via so this is m4e2 dot 2, is it is after? Yes, it is after. Say if you remember, this is a function which we had written. Okay, variation of this also we had written, might be 3 it is, no, this is using if. This is one only. Okay, what I do is I'll change this to all. Say this is a function class definition. Now this I'll change it to a method. This function I'll change it to a method. Method to check is after, which it will going to take, instead of t1 I call this as a self and other t2 I call it as a other. Okay, and now say here, how do I write this? There is no int to time and time to int, no. Okay, those functions even I need here. Okay, because of that what I do, instead of this I am going to use wherever int to time and time to int are there, might be here it is there. Okay, here I am going to write one more method in this one only. Say define is underscore after, which it will going to take two parameters, one is self and another one is other. Okay, this is a method to check whether one time will follow the other time. Okay, and now inside this say return, we are going to return the status, return. Okay, say what it returns. So look at this, it is, first we'll compare self dot time underscore time to, so there is time to int, time to int. Okay, time to int. If this is, it is called, where it is going to convert to a integer. If it is greater than, if it is greater than other dot time to int, right? Say if this is greater than this. Okay, so if this is greater than this, then obviously it should return true, otherwise it should return false. Okay, here say what I do, so I am going to take I'll just remove all these things. Before that, what I do, I am going to copy this and modify. Copy, let me call this as a is after, just in short I call it as is after dot py, and vi is after. Now I am going to remove all these things. Let this be start, and let me remove all these things. Okay, and one more I call it as a end. End is equal to say some time, then end dot r is say for example 9 hour, then end dot minute is say for example say 59 minutes, then end dot second is equal to say 30 seconds. Okay, so now I am going to call something like this. How I call? End is after start. End dot is after start, and this I am going to print. It's just a print function, whether it is print whether end is after start. So whether it is true or false, it should print. Python 3 true, because it is 9 hours. Look at this, it is start is 8 hours 59 seconds and 59 minutes and 30 seconds, whereas end is 9 hours 59 minutes and 30 seconds. Whereas if I make say end is say for example 7 hours, obviously now we should get false, right? Hope this is clear to all of you. So but remember, what is important here is, what is complication here is, you should be very careful when you are going to call the method. Okay, say to use the method we have to invoke it on one object. You should be careful on which object you are supposed to say call, and pass the other object as argument, something like this. End is after. One nice thing about this syntax is it reads almost like English. End is after start. Okay, so because of that it will not make any confusion. Such complication can be reduced. Okay, so and next what we discuss is, there is a method called init time, say which will be used to initialize the object. So about the init time we are going to discuss. Init time and how we can use it, how we can initialize it, what is so special about this init time. Okay, it's actually a special method. So more about this we are going to discuss in next class. Okay, so as of now we'll stop today, and in the next class we are going to discuss the init methods. If any doubts you can ask me. We'll continue in next class, right? Thank you.